When AI gets a brain, real neurons, new chips, and the future of intelligence. The shocking idea. What if the future of artificial intelligence is not faster software, not bigger data centers, not more powerful GPUs? What if the future of AI is alive? Not conscious, not human, but biological. This may sound like science fiction, but right now, in real laboratories, scientists are growing living human neurons and connecting them directly to computers. This is not a metaphor. This is not a simulation. This is real brain tissue on a chip, and it may change how machines learn forever. Why today's AI is hitting a wall. Let us start with an uncomfortable truth. Modern AI is powerful, but it is also extremely inefficient. It requires enormous datasets, massive electricity, huge data centers, and expensive hardware. Your brain, in contrast, runs on about 20 watts, less than a light bulb. It learns from a few examples. It adapts continuously. It repairs itself. And it never stops learning. So a quiet question has started to spread through AI research. What if we are building intelligence the wrong way? The most radical experiment. In Australia, a research company called Cortical Labs is doing something that still feels unreal. They grow real human neurons, created from stem cells, in a laboratory. These neurons are placed on top of a silicon chip filled with microscopic electrodes. The electronics stimulate the neurons. The neurons respond. The chip records their activity, and a computer connects this living network to a digital environment. In 2022, this system learned a very simple task. It learned how to play a tiny, simplified game. Not because someone programmed it, but because the neurons themselves adapted. This system is called dish brain. This is not an artificial neural network. This is a biological neural network. Living cells, learning. This is not a biological ChatGPT. Before we go any further, one thing must be absolutely clear. This is not a new AI product. This is not a brain computer. This is not conscious. This is not a machine that thinks like a person. It is a research platform. Its purpose is to study how real neurons learn, how they adapt, how they organize information, and how learning emerges inside biological networks. This is science, not science fiction. Why real neurons are so special. Real neurons have properties that no digital AI system has. They rewire themselves, change their own internal connections, adapt continuously, learn from extremely small amounts of data, and operate with incredible energy efficiency. They do not require millions of training examples. They learn while interacting. They are naturally robust. They degrade gracefully. They self-organize. For AI researchers, this is almost magical. But there is another path. Not everyone wants to grow living neurons. There is another, much larger and quieter revolution happening in hardware. It is called neuromorphic computing. Instead of simulating brains on standard processors, researchers design chips whose circuits behave more like neurons. Signals arrive, thresholds trigger spikes, connections change, timing matters. In simple terms, the hardware itself becomes part of the learning process. Companies like Intel and IBM have built experimental neuromorphic processors that explore this idea. No biology, no cells, just radically different electronics, designed to behave more like a brain. Two roads to the same dream. So today, there are two completely different roads. One road uses living neurons. The other builds brain-inspired silicon. Both are chasing the same dream: machines that learn efficiently, continuously, and adaptively. Not machines that must be trained in massive offline training runs. Not machines that forget everything between updates. Machines that learn like organisms. Why this is suddenly becoming important. For years, these ideas stayed on the edge of research, but something has changed. AI is now consuming more power, more compute, more resources, and the scaling strategy is becoming painfully expensive. At the same time, biology has already solved the learning problem. Evolution built learning machines that work in noisy environments, with incomplete data, under constant change. This is exactly the environment modern AI struggles with. What is already working today? Let us be honest about the current reality. Living neuron systems can only perform very simple tasks. Neuromorphic chips run narrow experimental workloads. They are not replacing GPUs. They are not running language models. They are not powering autonomous vehicles. Yet. But they are already demonstrating something extremely important. Learning can happen directly inside hardware, without massive training pipelines, without enormous memory systems, without gigantic compute clusters. Why scientists are excited. This research is not about copying the human mind. It is about uncovering the mechanisms of learning itself. If researchers can understand how biological networks stabilize learning, how they avoid catastrophic forgetting, how they remain flexible without collapsing into noise, then future AI systems may finally escape some of their biggest weaknesses today. The future machine may not look like a computer. Here is the unsettling thought. The machines that run future AI may not look like computers at all. They may look like hybrid systems, part silicon, part biology, or part digital logic, part neuromorphic hardware. They may not execute programs. They may behave more like living systems, learning, adapting, changing internally all the time. Will machines become better than humans? This is the question everyone eventually asks. If we build machines that learn like biology, will they surpass us? The honest answer is more complicated. They will not become human, but they may become better at certain kinds of learning, especially in pattern discovery, sensor processing, adaptive control, and continuous interaction with complex environments. They will not replace human creativity, but they may outperform humans in learning stability, adaptation speed, and resilience. A very uncomfortable boundary. The moment biology enters computing, new ethical questions appear. Who owns biological computing systems? How are the cells sourced? What obligations exist toward living material used for research? Even though these neuron cultures are not conscious, they are still biological. This field forces AI research to intersect with bioethics, and that intersection is only beginning. The real revolution. The real revolution is not that machines will grow brains. The revolution is that we are finally questioning the architecture of intelligence itself. For 70 years, computing followed a single dominant model: separation of memory and processing, fixed hardware, software on top, learning as an external training process. Biological intelligence does none of that. And now, AI research is starting to follow biology's lead. Where this is going. In the coming decade, the most realistic outcomes are hybrid AI accelerators, neuromorphic coprocessors, and biologically inspired learning hardware used alongside classical systems. Not replacements, augmentations. New layers in the AI stack, especially for robotics, edge devices, medical sensing, and adaptive control systems. The deepest question. For decades, we taught machines how to calculate. Then we taught them how to recognize patterns. Now we are beginning to teach them how to learn like living systems, not by copying the human mind, but by studying the physical machinery of learning itself. Artificial intelligence was born in software, but its future may be shaped in living tissue and in machines that no longer behave like machines at all. And the most surprising part is this: the closer we study biological intelligence, the more mysterious intelligence itself becomes.